welcome along to today's video. This one concerns all of you that have combination central heating boilers. Now, you already may know the little trick where you run the hot tap, whichever one it is you're using, very slowly in the beginning before you turn it full on. You run it slowly, just enough for the boiler to light, and that means that the water passes over the heat exchanger slowly and it heats up a bit quicker. You don't use so much water, and then after a set amount of time you open the tap fully and the hot water's straight there. And this kind of technique, I've got plenty of videos on there. I'll show you one that I've got a link to there if you want, if you think you can manage to do this. But of course you can't hear the combination boiler fire up if you're up in a bathroom somewhere and the boiler's miles away. You've got to kind of guess it and work it out. It's a bit more hassle, isn't it? Because you've got to kind of, is this enough pressure or is it not, you know, and so forth. Plus, getting any children to do this would be nigh impossible. And also if you've got elderly people around home, they're also not going to be able to do this thing, are they? And as I say, when you've not got the boiler right next to your tap in a kitchen, say, and you can hear it and feel it more, it's very difficult to do. But the benefits of it are quite good because you use a lot less water and you use a lot less gas because it's heating up very slowly, this bit of first water before it fully fires. So what we can do about it, how can we automatically make this work? Well, luckily there is a thing called a CombiSave, and I did a video on fitting one of these and the thing in action and setting it up some while back. I've been asked if I can put it back out there again. I'm going to cut it down again like as usual, just to give you all the relevant parts about the thing and fitting it. And if it's for you, it will save you money in the long term. It depends how you feel about another little device added to your boiler, but it is easy enough to fit. So we'll get straight to the video now then, shall we? Let's go. We'll start by looking at it, shall we? It's good on the table here, so let's have a little peep at that CombiSave. Here then are all the parts in the box, and as you can see, this is the main valve, our instruction leaflet there, labelling all the parts and nicely the distance to cut the pipe to fit the thing. We have a little adjustment screwdriver here for the bypass valve and a couple of fibre washers, and obviously here is our valve. I've kind of lined it up, but I took it away to show you this. The inlet valve has a filter, you can see it in there. That's the thing to go onto the inlet, and it has got arrows on the valve anyway to show you, and there's the outlet. There's lots of different positions that you can have this thing in, as you can see by our chart there. Here then are the quoted savings from the company that sell this device, quoting what the actual savings are. Now, as you probably know, I've got videos on combi boilers and trying to save water with them by running them slow at the beginning or turning the temperature down and adjusting the flow rate, things like this, to try and get that water hotter into the tap. Now obviously some of you may say, well, why not just open the tap very slowly, wait for the boiler to fire, and when it reaches the tap at the right temperature you want it, you just open it fully and away you go, and it's doing the same thing as a CombiSave. And yes, in theory that does work, but if I could get my wife to do that, it would be a miracle. And when the grandchildren come over, they certainly are not going to do that. So this kind of device for me is going to do the work for me. The device is going to make sure that this happens whether they like it or not. I'm now going to run this hot tap into this bowl, and when it gets to the temperature where my finger can't take it, because I haven't got a thermometer to accurately do it, we'll see how much water is in the bowl. And then when we've fitted the device, we will do it again and see what the saving is when it reaches the same temperature again. It's not very scientific, I know, but I know how much my finger can take. Now, my combi boiler is only there in the kitchen, and so my sink is just here, so this is an extremely short run. You should find this gets hot fairly quick, but it still does take a little while, so I'll do that now. I've had this combi, the heating and the combi, off for the last 4 hours, so it's well cold, so we'll run it now and see how long it takes to get this water hot and how much goes into this bowl before it's usable. just starting to warm now. Considering this is virtually as close as you're going to get most combis to an appliance. Now my bathroom's up in the other room, and I can tell you that the shower especially takes a long time before that hot water gets there. Just starting to go through now, I can feel it starting to heat now. I always run my hot water flat out. I know people say you shouldn't do it, but I like it like that. We're old people like to do washing up in the sink. I know we don't have a dishwasher. We're getting there now, and now that's it. That's the temperature. So I'll put a little mark in the bowl. You can see how much water there is in there. Gives you a good idea how much is there. But I will put a little mark there so we know when the CombiSave is fitted how much less water we've got in there. So there we are, there's a little mark for you. Yeah, as I was saying about the dishwashing water, we get therapeutic by washing our dishes in a bowl with washing up liquid. Oh yeah. So we like our water really hot for that. Okay, let's start on the fitting of the CombiSave. So first thing is decide exactly where you're going to put your CombiSave, and this is the hot outlet pipe. Okay, it's next to my condensate pipe for me. Decide where it's going to go. I'm going to squeeze it in here. It's a little bit tight, but I can always take this pipe out of the way, and I'll probably disconnect it from the top here so it's got a bit more room to flex around to fit it in. Alright, and you've got to get this thing about right, because you need to get to the bypass valve. I'll show you as we go along and you'll understand what I mean, and it's going to go in there anyway. That's my position. So first of all we turn the power off to the boiler, and then we turn the water off. Now there'll be a valve up here, okay, it is on the main there, this little blue tap. Just turn that off and then we'll open the hot tap until it finishes. So first of all we'll shut that off. Just turn it like that. Okay, that's now off. Open your tap and just let it run. Tap at the lowest point in the house is best, usually the kitchen sink. Just let it run until it comes to a stop. So now we come to marking the cutout of the pipe, which we know there from our diagram is 119. So we're now just going to mark it on the pipe, the amount we want to cut out. Now I've disconnected mine from up here, give me a bit more playroom. As you can see, I've got a bit of room to move this about. The more there is the better. Mine's especially a bit close to there, so I've took that out as well down to that socket, and this gives me a bit of playroom to get this thing in. Once you've cut your piece of pipe out, I didn't bother showing you that, it's a bit boring showing cutting pipes, I know that much. Mine actually needed a junior hacksaw through here because it had a coupling straight on the bottom of it. I took it down the garage afterwards and cleaned it all up so that it was no bird edges, because the good thing with a pipe cutter is you get no bird edges. This end was okay, I managed to get it in there. So I've attached the connection back at the top now and we're ready. What I've done is I've nipped this one up slightly so it'll hold on there and not fall off. What I've done is tightened it up and then just loosened it off a bit so that the olive nut stays where it is, because it'll keep coming off. It's a right nuisance when you're trying to line it up. Obviously this one doesn't matter, it's going to sit there. So next thing now is get the right angle and orientation, oh dear, yes, for the valve, remembering that we've got to be able to get to what's called the bypass screw. Don't forget also, people, filter on the top one there, okay, that one goes there, the other one on the bottom. Get it, make sure it's round the right way. Now before I go fitting the valve, I just want to show you this little bit here. Under this sticker is the heat adjustment valve on the output to enable you to raise or lower the temperature. Okay, this is dependent whether you have your boiler set at whatever temperature it is. You may want it hotter or you may want it cooler. Like if you've got a combi on a roof spacer, for instance, it would be a long leg getting down. You may want this a bit hotter to work sooner because of the long dead leg, for instance, that is coming down, cooling the water off. So this bit here is our fine tuning, if you like. It's set already, preset for 45, which is about right. So I'm going to leave it, see how we get on. But the good thing is you can always adjust this afterwards. There now is the valve fitted and the little key in there to open up and bleed the valve. Now we're going to bleed the system, give it a good commissioning up and check all the joints thoroughly, make sure there's no leaks there. That's it, once we're lit, now we just give the valve a quarter more of a turn and we should be set and ready to go. One last thing as well, it does say in the manual that if you do get a squeaking noise from this valve, it's because the pressure can be very high in your house, and if that's the case, it does say to turn the valve around the other way, which is very interesting. So now we need to just wait now, let everything cool down again, and we'll give it the test and see whether we're saving water via the old water bowl there and my finger. Here we go. Oh, and one other last thing, guys, make sure your preheat is off. Okay, it's very important. Make sure that it's all switched off. So it's now time for the test. Put a bit of tape on the bowl. That was where the watermark came up to before. It was unbearably finger hot, which is how I like it, and it also took around about 40 odd seconds. So we're going to give it a test now. Let's try out. Here we go. Turn the tap on. It's going to be a slow run to begin with until it builds up. You should hear the boiler ignite. Yep, it's alight now. See how much quicker this is now. That's it. Woo, that be it. Well, there we go. There's how much water saving we have there. You can see by the bowl, and that was also a lot quicker on my watch. That was 20-25 seconds to get there. That was much better. So you can see the amount of water saving there. I can adjust the boiler a little bit more. I'm sure we can get that saving more than that if I adjust the valve as well, and make a few more amendments as we go along. Well, that's about it then. It's not too bad a job, really, not at all, and the benefits are obviously there forevermore. You know, you do not have to kind of adjust that tap automatically. It can be a bit infuriating at first when it doesn't run very fast and you wait for it to come through, but just think how much gas and water you're saving by using this appliance. I like it myself. I've had it on there now for a year or two, and no regrets at all. So anyway, if it's for you, there's another little money saving tip again. It's going to cost you right now, but you will save long term. Okay, that's about it though. All my stuff, you know where to go. Usual place, Derrickton33. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.
For our videos, Derrickton33. Thanks for watching.